You are watching Vanquish Gaming. Our VGL 2v2 Season 1 is a Week 7 matchup between Mord and Satchmo with ElPolloLoco and Crump. Now, Week 7 matchup features Lunar Colony 5, a map that no one has ever chosen to actually play on themselves throughout the entire season, which kind of surprises me. It makes me a little upset because it is kind of one of my favorite maps. And there goes the PG-13 rating for this entire cast. This cast is now rated R, because anytime someone mentions any kind of male body parts or even slang for roosters, we have to go ahead and throw a disclaimer out there. Thank you for that, Pollo. All right, Mord and Satchmo basically a lock for second place at this point in the season. This game is interesting choice there, Satchmo, with your dual extractor trick. And, Pollo, unfortunately, Pollo and Crump dropping that game against Diener and Be Nasty, as surprising as it was, basically cost them first map advantage. So this right here is basically what we're going to see. It's a preview of the semifinal matchup, because these two teams will most likely, actually, they will guaranteed meet for a semifinal matchup, with Mord and Satchmo having first map advantage. That, of course, will be a best-of-5 series and will be live casted. So that will be a very interesting, matchup there. That will be, something that both, I'm sure, will do a lot of studying. Again, there we see a little bit of, pausing going on, and, Pollo, of course, accusing of bad manners, most likely in jest. These guys are actually pretty decent friends in real life. We do see a little bit of harassment there. Pollo bringing a peace treaty, but using the other claw to jab at this spawning pool. We do see spawning pools going down all around. Let's go take a look at the production tab. We see 3 spawning pools going down. Crump, the lone Protoss, building another gateway. Looks like he's going double gateway, so maybe indicative of some early zealots. We'll have to see what goes on there. We do see Mord still in the base, running around, checking on everything. And, again, this will be a little bit of a preview, so you kind of wonder if they're going to be playing with their best strategies right now, or if they're just going to be playing, trying to experiment. Because in reality, I hate to say it, but this game is not really that valuable to either one of these teams. Win or lose, the standings are not really going to change. Mord and Satchmo will still be in second place, and Pollo and Crump will still be in third. Therefore, they will still play against each other. First map advantage will not change. We do see 6 links from Satchmo out and about. We do see Pollo still running around holding these minerals, unsure of what he's going to do with that. Satchmo, of course, taking both Zelnaga towers. So again, not really sure how much this game will change, so not sure what their plans are. Do they want to give away their strategies? Do they not want to give away their strategies? We'll have to see what they do. Right now, we see Mord going for a somewhat fast expansion. We do see Pollo still lingering over here. We do see a little bit of activity here as Satchmo tried to run in and found a zealot on hold here. Pollo, of course, would like to get those minerals back in action and unable to get back in his own base. I'm guessing there is no shared control going on there. We do see a cybernetics core coming down for Crump. And we do see Satchmo still running around with these Zerglings, trying to find out what he's going to do with them. We do see a little bit, there it is, a little bit of kicking out of this Overlord here by Mord, using that Queen. And we do see Satch as well, checking for any possible expansion. Some more Zerglings on the way. Take a look at the production tab. We do not see any attempts at Satchmo to get Zergling speed. An interesting choice there. Oh, never mind. It's almost like he can hear me. So now he's getting Zergling speed. We do see Zergling speed also coming down for Pollo. And we do see Mord going for his patented roaches. So, of course, Mord, a big lover of roaches in general. Big user of roaches. And we've seen him use roaches very effectively in his last few games. So it'll be interesting to see what he's going to do, with roaches this time. It may just be a straight-up Zergling roach battle. Pollo, of course, a big fan of Banelings. We see the Baneling nest coming down. That will definitely do a lot to negate these Zerglings here. So, we'll have to see how that goes. We do see a little bit of a buildup of pressure there from Satchmo, and we do see Mord starting to saturate this base here. This is one of 2 somewhat natural expansions. The other one's over here. And while this one is very wide open to attacks, I feel like this base is actually more susceptible just because it has these rocks, sure, but it's in the low grounds. And especially against Protoss, I hate anything on the low ground, you know? Colossi can stand here and start hitting stuff, and you never know. You see a rollout coming out now from Pollo as he becomes supply blocked after losing that last Overlord. And we do see as well, you know, these rocks also seem a little ridiculous to me. I mean, I get it, Xel'Nagas are useful, but for the love of God, just give me the Xel'Naga, you know? And we do see Pollo rolling in here, and he's going to go ahead and take down this expansion, or at least he's going to try to. Satchmo redirecting those lings. It looks like Mord did lose a queen. He did get those workers out in time, and it looks like Pollo is going to go ahead and just blow right past these lings and just try to engage this queen that got a little lost there. And Satchmo, of course, keeping those down, and these roaches just taking pot shots at all these lings. And these lings, of course, in a hold position as they try to whittle down some of these workers. It looks like they distracted them a little bit, but they're not going to do too much damage there. You also see Satchmo keeping an eye on this expansion. Right now, a complete one base from Crump and Pollo. We do see some spine crawlers. Probably should move those up a little bit, especially with the roaches. You want to try to get some range on them. And it looks like Satchmo's finally got his Xel'Naga again, and still holding on to the other one. We do see a little bit of eyes from Pollo, but right now the base advantage going in favor of Mord and Satchmo. We do see these lings are now going to engage here. Looks like Satchmo should be able to easily take this. Looks like he's trying to draw him back towards the wall where a small group of stalkers are waiting. He has not expanded with this creep tumor yet either. He should probably do that just so we can get some eyes. We do see a roach rollout coming in here now. Let's take a look at the count. We see 25 Satchmo lings, 15 Mord roaches, and that will come up against, should they attack, 12 stalkers, 3 zealots, and 14 lings to boot. Pretty even numbers across the board there. We do see a bunch of banelings coming out, though. That sways it drastically in favor of ElPolloLoco. You also see Pollo finally going down for an expansion at almost 10 minutes, a very late expansion there. And we do see these blings moving in the position to protect against any Zergling harass there. Going to be very, very useful against those lings. These roaches are in a great ball formation, though. He needs to avoid these lings from hitting into those roaches. And it looks like he will get some saturation and get some great saturation on those. Unfortunately, though, once again, Pollo and Crump not cohesively attacking here. These roaches are going to roll in individually here. There should be no match, though. These blings will most likely be wasted on these roaches. But these stalkers should be more than enough to fight those roaches off. And it looks like they will chase away those roaches there. And, you know, not a good attack choice there. Satchmo, though, taking advantage of the distraction and going for the expansion as well as some layer tech. Let's take a look at production. We see lots of upgrades coming down. Satch going for melee, Mord going for range. We do see Crump's Stalker Ball rolling out here. Crump, of course, 50% of the way there. For Blink, more Stalkers underway. It looks like Satchmo is just barely going to see those. He did see the Crump's Stalkers rolling out there. Do see some more lings coming out as well. Looks like Crump will try to take down these rocks, and no, looks like he's just going to go around instead. And he will run into some Mord roaches coming up from behind. That will sandwich him in between here with this spine crawler, and Mord cleverly healing that as well. And these stalkers, though, should be able to clean up the rest of this. They will need some Satchmo lings to try and do anything about that. And it looks like Satchmo is not going to do anything. He's going to instead, looks like he almost got blindsided by these blings here. These blings are going to go ahead and roll in here. And, oh, they're going to take out all of Satchmo's lings there. And these stalkers, meanwhile, are going to make quick work of Mord's base here. If they can keep bundled up there, they should be able to fight off these lings one at a time here. Unfortunately, lings without getting a decent surround are going to be very difficult. Satchmo's lings, of course, did take a little bit of a hit from the blings there on ElPolloLoco. Pollo choosing not to engage the rest of his lings. Looks like Crump prioritizing this hatchery here, wants to try and break it down. He blinks out from a safe location, unfortunately giving Satchmo better surround capabilities. Not a good move there, not a good blink there from Crump. He will lose the rest of these stalkers. This hatchery in danger of being lost. It looks like Pollo is rolling in now with lings of his own. Unfortunately, these roaches pop just in time. And it looks like Mord now has more than enough Lings combined with Satchmo. Looks like he's going to try to counterattack. We do see a Muta out from Pollo, and unfortunately one Muta is not going to be enough, and he did not have any Blings ready for base defense there, so he will lose those as well. Mord will hold on to this hatchery just barely, and it looks like a whole, complete just cluster of Ling battles here. And we see Crump blinking in some Stalkers to help with that defense. Some very good back and forth here. However, it looks like things are still slightly in favor of Mord and Satchmo. They've been able to hold on to these bases a little bit better. They will take out the rest of those Roaches, however, and a handful of Lings taking that Xel'Naga back. Mord being able to hold on to this hatchery, depending on how fast he gets that saturated, would be a huge advantage for him, not just with the larva, but also with the ability to continue mining that base without any additional delays or mineral costs. You see Crump piling up these Stalkers here. He does have Blink. Take a look at production. We see nothing coming from Crump, as he is most likely, no, he's not supply blocked, but it looks like he will go for an expansion now, a very late expansion on his part. Meanwhile, we did see some Mutas force the loss of the cancellation, I should say, of an expansion here from Satchmo. Lots and lots of action going on. It's always fun for me to cast so many Zerg players. I can't tell you how much fun it is chasing them all over the map, trying to get eyes on everything. You see Crump losing a few Stalkers here, but he will be able to whittle down these Roaches at least. And we do also see some Mutas here from Pollo helping out with these Roaches as well. And Crump trying to get this base up and running as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, these Stalkers need to help out here. These Lings are able to pick them off one at a time, with a handful of Mord's Roaches to boot. And this is not looking good at all. Mord not taking advantage of this saved expansion here by saturating it again. And the economy advantage is starting to sway in favor of Crump and Pollo here. This is something that Mord and Satchmo need to get under control. They've built a ton of units, but they have not really built anything else. Mord, of course, going with the slow Roaches once again. Not really sure why he continues to do that, but he definitely likes his Roaches on the slow side. So we do see, nice tech build up here. We do see some layer coming down as well. So we'll have to see what the plan's going to be here. Right now, the Roach-Ling strategy, I feel like it can work, but they need to get this built up a little bit better. We do only have 2 Mutas out on the map for Pollo here. Other than that, he really just has a handful of Lings. We do also see a Warp Prism out for Crump. We'll have to see if he's going to put that Warp Prism to use or not. We've not seen him do anything with it yet. It's just kind of hanging out here off to the side. We do also see some hallucinated Phoenixes, which are great scouts from Crump. He needs to actually, though, put them to use and hopefully force them to try and build up some kind of air defenses. This is excellent play here from Crump, trying to kind of bait them into building something. He's going to go ahead and fly these through here, just kind of take a look around. He's going to see that Mord is already saturating that. Crump needs to get this base saturated as quickly as possible, try to take advantage of this. We do see a huge buildup of units here. We take a look at the unit tab, and this is just getting scary here with 44 Lings and, actually 44 and 34 Lings, almost 100 Lings with 17 Roaches. This is not looking good at all. We have only 8 Lings from Pollo, and we do have 21 Stalkers, however, and 2 Sentries from Crump. You do see these Lings kind of exchanging rates here, and they will go ahead and spy that. We do see lots of Spine Crawlers also going down, and there's the blink in from Crump. Excellent blinking from him, as he will go ahead and try to take out this expansion here. They do have more than enough, though, to fight this off. It's going to come down to whether or not Crump can prioritize targets well enough to kind of block things. It looks like they're going to go ahead and let them take it, and they're going to go for a base trade. These slow Roaches trailing these Lings. You see lots of Roaches out for Pollo, but it's not going to be enough. And with the army split, this is going to be a very bad base trade situation, as really Crump's Stalkers are very susceptible to all the Lings here. Meanwhile, we see Mord and Satchmo just steamrolling everything in their path here, taking out everything from Pollo. We take a look at the unit counts here. You'll see them begin to drop for Pollo, as he is down to only half the Roaches that he had before. Crump finishes taking out this base here, a misplaced force field there. He needs to decide what he's going to do with those Stalkers immediately. He's going to take that out. There are plenty of Lings here, though, to take that out from them. And unfortunately, this is the part that really hurts to watch, because unfortunately Crump, with all of those Stalkers, he's going to lose almost all of them to these Lings, and Lings are so cheap to build. He really needs to call them back and use them against something that they're better at countering, which is really Mord's slow Roaches, something that begs to be countered by Stalkers. And unfortunately, Crump trying to make this base trade work. He's losing stalkers left and right. He will win that Ling battle, but it's only a matter of time before more Lings come out. Crump, of course, with a lot of docile workers here, completely idle. He needs to get them over to this expansion as quickly as possible. He is losing everything. We see a single Muta from Pollo here, but Pollo also very low on resources. Take a look at the resource count here. See Pollo dwindling. Crump with plenty of resources, though. Definitely enough to make some stalkers, but he needs to try and warp those in as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, his stalkers are being whittled down by, at this point, drones and Lings. He loses all those stalkers. Only a stalker and a sentry remain on the outside, and this is not looking good at all. Pollo losing his main base. Crump sitting on way too many resources, trying to get some pylons up as quickly as possible, but again, operating off way too few gateways here. Only 4 gateways at 21 minutes. He should have more than double that, and these roaches are just laying waste to everything in Pollo's base. This is not a good situation at all. Pollo leaves the game. These roaches, as slow as they are, kind of winning the game here. And it's only a matter of time before Crump quits here. Lots and lots of Lings to defend. Satchmo now with that expansion up and running. Unfortunately, Crump not moving any of these workers, not even making an attempt to move these workers. Over here, you have to wonder why he has not quit the game at this point. He's trying to put down some gateways. He may think he has a chance, but he really doesn't. These Lings are just going to completely outnumber him on economy. He is falling behind very quickly. You see Mord has also completely lost all of his workers as well. As he lost his expansion, he is waiting for this to build back up. He does have plenty of workers ready to go. And now at this point, Crump is losing all of his workers. He has just waited too long to move those and to transfer those workers over to that expansion. That expansion kind of going to waste here. And we do see lots of gateways going down, but it's going to be a little too late, as these roaches are just going to kind of lay waste to all of his tech, take out the remaining gateways of this base here. We also see some of Satchmo's Lings just kind of chewing through this. Pollo has long left the game, so you kind of wonder why Crump is still in here. And Crump finally leaves the game, handing an early victory to Mord and Satchmo. Again, you have to wonder if any of these strategies will see the light of day in the semifinal matchup. You know, again, this game not really meaning a whole lot, but giving kind of an early preview, letting them kind of test out some builds, some strategies, you know, so not really sure how much experimentation versus how much, you know, easy-handed play we're seeing here, but still indicative of at least something, right? So Mord and Satchmo taking the first game. We'll have to see what happens in game 2, and you know, again, just a very exciting preview of what's to come.